Hello everyone, my name is Natasha and I work with the Saskatoon Public Library. I'm joining you today for Story Laboratory and I'm here in my backyard, which is located on Treaty 6 territory in the homeland of the Métis. Today for Story Laboratory, I thought I'd share with you a pretty cool book that's about gardens. And this time of year, a lot of people are working on their gardens, and if you don't have one, there's all sorts of different ways you can make your own little gardens. I've done mine in pots on my deck. I also have some just in the dirt where I had flowers. You can make little spaces and grow your own food at home very easily, or even you can cut apart a lot of different food you buy from the grocery store and grow it again just in water in your kitchen. It's pretty neat. But here's a quick book, and it's called How Does Your Garden Grow? It's by Kate Burns and Dawn Apperly. And this tells you all about how gardens grow. And it's got some little surprises in it too. Are you ready? It's springtime, winter has gone, and now the sunshine feels warm. The garden is home to new plants and baby animals. Can you see everything in that garden? You want to see how the garden's growing in this beautiful pop-up book. A seed needs to be in dark, damp soil to begin to grow. A very new small plant is called a seedling. And that's very true. So what I've done is I've put my seeds in some nice damp soil and I've covered them. So in a few days, once they get nice and wet and warm in that soil, they'll start to make roots, which it talks about here. It says the shoots grow up and the roots grow down. So in my garden, the roots will go down, and soon, in a few weeks or days, depending on the plant, the shoots will come up, which is this nice little green plant. And that will be a seedling. That'll grow nice and tall. As spring turns to summer, little seedlings grow into flowers with huge, beautiful petals. Some plants only flower once and then die. Others grow back and flower every summer. And that's the difference between annuals and perennials. Perennials come back every year, and annuals are only around for 1 year. See that flower grow again? Beautiful flower. The honeybees and butterflies fly from flower to flower, finding food and helping the garden to grow. Bees and butterflies find their food in flowers, and and insects that find food in flowers are called pollinators. They actually help the flowers grow better. And that's the reason why a lot of our food is able to grow, because we have bees and butterflies and other pollinators that go from one flower to the other and make them grow really well. What else do you see in this garden? Do you see a red flower? What about a yellow flower? Yeah, and you guys see what this page does? You can see the pollinators dancing around the flower. Very pretty. The more colorful the flower, the more the pollinators will come. Tender vegetables ripen in the garden. Beans, lettuce, and carrots are ready to be eaten. In each of the 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, the garden will look different. In summer, it is the most colorful. You see these rows of carrots, and this is maybe lettuce or cabbage, and maybe some beets or more carrots and pumpkins and cauliflower. Nice little rows. And then right here we can see this nice vine plant is growing up as the seasons go on. It grows up and tall, and they have their watering can and their rake. Very nice. This one's a very cool page, so I'll read it and then I'll show you. And all around the garden grows and grows. Do you see that? How it grows? And you see the beautiful pollinators. They're dancing around the flowers. And a busy bee in a beautiful garden. Oh, and look at this. There's a carrot. And what do we have under here? A bird is hiding in the tree. And there's some ladybugs. And what's hiding under the spiders? A little worm. When you dig in the soil, you can find all sorts of treasures. So for today's activity, I thought I'd show you some different seeds. And I've already opened a few for you. And you can see a lot of the ones I have are really, really tiny. It's kind of surprising. So I have a package of carrots, and look how teeny tiny the seeds are. They're so small. It's really hard to plant them separate. So what a lot of people do is they just sprinkle them in the rows, and then they take them out after they have it taller to give them space to grow into carrots. Because the orange part of the carrot is actually the root, so it grows in the dirt, just like we saw in the book. So usually, your carrots are done growing when you see a bit of the orange part coming out, and the tall green part gets really big, and then you have to dig it out of the ground to eat it. So these carrots I'm actually going to try growing in a big container this year and see how they do. So these are a special type of carrot that's a little bit smaller. Let's do better with that. And then my almost 10-year-old really likes eating salads. They're his favorite thing to eat. If I offer him the choice between something and salad, he almost always picks salad. And last year we grew a bunch of lettuce, so we're gonna grow more of that. And look how tiny these seeds are too. Can you see them? This is a mix of different lettuces. That's why the seeds are different colors. And this is arugula, which is a different type of leafy green that you can eat in salads. So this seed, the arugula, is, I don't know if you can see it, it's so tiny. It's really hard and black and round, almost like canola if you've ever seen that. It's also little black round seeds. And the lettuce ones, oh, I dropped it. They're so small, are long and small. They're small, but they're long and flat, whereas the other one was a small little hard circle. All these seeds are similar, but they're different. And I also have some basil I'm gonna grow, and this one looks a lot like the arugula. You can see it. It's a little round black seed. It's a bit flatter than the other one. And I also went through and I wanted to show you some seeds and some other things. So here's an apple. A lot of you probably know what the seeds in this look like. You can see where it got pulled off the tree. There's still part of a branch. And the bottom part is actually where the tree had flowers before it made apples. So the apples grow from where the flowers are. And then when you cut it open, you can see the seeds. So this one's slid out. But usually they're right there in the thing, and that's how you have seeds. And you could grow an apple tree from that. It would just take a long time. It's a different sounding bird. My backyard's very noisy today. You can hear people working, and you can hear lots of birds. And I cut open an orange pepper, and I'm actually gonna plant the whole half of this in the dirt. This is my experiment for the year. I'm gonna plant the whole thing under the dirt like this. And then what should happen is all these little seeds, can you see them? All those little seeds there should grow into little seedlings, little green leaves, and I'll split them apart and put them in big pots, and then they can grow big and make me some more red peppers to eat. I also cut open 2 tomatoes. Cut open a red tomato, a small one, a little cherry tomato. You can see all the seeds in there, and the yellow one. See the seeds in that one? See them all in the juicy part. See? Those are the seeds that are falling out. And on strawberries, which part do you think is the seeds? What if I cut it open? What do you think would happen? Is it like the apple? Is that like the apple? Does it look the same to you? No, I don't see anything in there. seeds on the strawberry are all these little dots, and they're actually called achenes, if I remember correctly. They have a special name. And you could actually scrape those off and plant that and make a strawberry plant. And the cool thing about planting those things is once you plant one, a lot of them spread on their own and make more and more. Especially strawberries, they send out little runners, which is like kind of like a little vine, and they'll make more and more strawberry plants for you. So it's really cool. Oh, and I almost forgot, one of the coolest, well, it's not exactly a seed, but one of the coolest way to regrow something, I think, is potatoes. So I'm gonna go grab one for you and show you. I just remember where I put them. Okay, so I found two really cool ones. This is called a bulb, and this is gonna make a gladiolus plant, which is a really tall flower. And tulips and other things like that go like this. So these are bulbs, and they're kind of hard, and they kind of look like garlic. Have you ever seen garlic? And then you dig them in the ground, and they come back every year. Sometimes you have to bring them in if it gets really cold, dig them out, and then put them back. But here's what I want to show you is potato plants. I grew up growing a big, huge garden full of potatoes every year at my house when I was a kid, and then one garden full of other vegetables. And potatoes, we always had to get a shovel and dig fairly big holes, and then plant this. This is actually just a shriveled up potato, and then it makes all these little arms and stuff, and they break off really easy. But if you put this whole thing in the dirt and then cover it up, it'll grow into a big leafy plant, and then it'll make little flowers. Sometimes the flowers are purple, sometimes they're white, and then after the flowers fall off, you would dig out the plant and there's more potatoes growing in the soil. It's really cool. So I planted some of these in my big flower bed this year, but I've done them in containers before too. If the container's big enough, it still works. You just have to remember these guys like a lot of space between them so they can grow their potatoes. And you can even cut them apart. If they have, some of them have this on two ends, you can cut it apart and get two plants out of it. It's really neat, it's kind of squishy. So that's really fun. So there's all sorts of different seeds and plants, and it's really fun to even just explore with what you have in your fridge or out in your garden and get your hands dirty. And you can even have plants in all sorts of containers. It doesn't even have to be a real pot. It could be an old yogurt container or anything like that. And if you have soil and if you have food, you can make more. It's really fun. I used to have a tomato plant in my room all the time growing up, and I'd water, and then when it got big enough, I'd go put it outside and have tomatoes. So that's what we're doing today for Story Laboratory. I hope you had fun, and I'll try and send some pictures later as the plants get bigger if you guys are interested, so let me know. Thank you. Goodbye. So now I'm just going to try and do my experiment, which is to plant the whole orange pepper. And these are just chives that have been growing in my flower bed for a really, really long time, and I moved them over because they were starting to grow too close to something else. So I just dug them up till I could see the roots, and I put those in here yesterday, and these are really nice for cooking with too. And they get these really big, beautiful purple flowers that you can eat off the chives. I'm just gonna work up this half of the pot. Because something like this, I think I want a little bit deeper. And we can see all these little seeds on here. So we could just take the seeds out and spread them in the pot, but putting part of the vegetable in there will actually give food for those little seeds as they start to grow. But I think I might rip this in half and just spread it out a little bit that way. So can you see all those very nice seeds? So I'll kind of give them a little work up too, and if some fall over, that's okay. So I'm gonna stick these in the dirt, and then I'm gonna cover them up. And I can still see part of it. And this part's still a lot lower than where my chives are growing, so I'm gonna add some more soil. And I actually don't have anything in this pot yet, so I'm gonna move soil over from here. In until it's level. That's going to be my experiment for this year. I saw seeds in that plant, and I'm going to see if I plant it in here, will I get little pepper plants. My guess is I'm going to get a few pop up, and I'm going to have to spread them out because pepper plants get pretty big. I don't think they'd have enough room in here, but this is a good spot to start it. So if they get nice and big in here, I'll move them to a spot in the bigger garden.